Good evening or good morning to you.
นมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
If it is morning, it's good morning. If it's evening for you, it's good evening. Welcome once more to our Zoom meeting this week. So, Gok Seng, you are the first one today. Gok Seng.
Okay, good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions at the moment.
No questions. Okay.
No questions at the moment, Ajahn.
Gek Yen So, you are next. Gek Yen So.
Good evening, Ajahn. No question today.
Okay, Mudita, question?
Yes ค่ะ Good evening ค่ะท่านพระอาจารย์ I would like to ask for your view on the last citta before we die. I've heard that our last citta is very important before we die.
No, it's not important. What is important is your present citta.
Right.
You have to make your present citta good. So when you die, your last citta will be good.
Right.
If you wait until the last citta to do it, it's too late. So you don't worry about the last citta because you don't know when you're gonna die, do you?
True.
Okay. So you have to prepare yourself right now for the last citta.
Okay.
So you have to make your citta good now, so that when you die, your last citta will be good. Okay, your citta doesn't change with the death of the body. See? Your citta changed by your practice or not practicing Dhamma. If you're not practicing Dhamma, your citta will not be good. If you practice Dhamma, then your citta will be good. Be noble disciple now. Don't wait till the last citta to do the practice, because you cannot do it. So do it now. Become a noble disciple now. So when you die, you will have no problem. All right?
Okay, I will try to practice on mindfulness constantly.
Yes. Okay. Is that all?
Yes, that's all. Thank you so much.
Siddhartha, you're next.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me go to Belinda from Singapore. Belinda, you have any question?
Ajahn, no question for now. Thank you.
Okay. Anuragji, thanks for your donation.
Hi, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, thanks for
Happy
the
birthday.
opportunity.
Happy birthday.
It's in the future. Yeah, thank you. I have no questions today, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me go to Forrest Tom. Forrest,
Hi, Ajahn. Also, no questions from me today.
no question. Okay, good. That means you understand everything now. What you
Just
need to
trying
do
to
is put
mindfulness.
into practice what you
Yeah.
understand. Okay, Rusli from Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. No question for now today. Thank you,
Okay. Hannah? It's Alvin Lee. Alvin Lee.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn. Sorry, my daughter used my iPad.
Okay, I didn't recognize your face just now.
Yeah, my hair is getting longer, so can't go and cut my hair. The hairdresser salon is closed. Ajahn, a couple of days ago when I practiced, I could felt that my heartbeat slowed down. That there's something that I felt that the heart beating became slower. But what is the problem, Ajahn? Is it because of?
There's no problem. When the mind becomes calmer, there's less activity. mental activity. So the physical activity also decreases according to the mental activity. When the mind is excited, then the heartbeat will start raising up. And when the mind becomes calm, then the heartbeat will be slower, naturally. Nothing wrong.
Okay, and it's the same thing that happened to me again. Then I got shocked and scared. You see, because it's slowing down. Something that I haven't experienced before.
Don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When the mind becomes calmer, the body will also become calmer. The activity of the body becomes calmer.
Right. So it's the same thing as you feel that you're dropping as well, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Next is Darren from Singapore. Darren.
Hi, Ajahn. I have no question today. Thank you.
No question today. Julin Tay.
Excuse me, Ajahn. No question today. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. No work to do for me today. Gary, Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. There's one question from me. That question is regarding the sixth precept. Please advise if I've broken the sixth precept. If let's say I were to start my meal quite late, say about 11:45, and then continue to eat, which when I finish my meal, I could have passed the midday, past noon. So is that a constitution? I mean, does that constitute to breaking of the sixth precept? Please advise, Ajahn.
Well, if you want to restrict with the letter of the precept, then you're breaking it. But if you consider the spirit of the precept, it's just meant for you to not to eat too much. So if you might, have some problem, you cannot eat and finish by noon, and you might finish it 15 minutes later. I think by spirit, there's no difference, right? Mm-hmm. As long as the amount of food is about the same.
I see.
Okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. You can switch your clock into daylight saving time or standard time, whichever the case may be.
So it's not like strictly speaking, it's like breaking of the precept.
No, it's not breaking it. Yeah, if you follow the letter of the precept, then you are breaking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the spirit of the precept is that you don't eat too much, and you by midday. How do people do in the ancient time? They have no clock,
Yes,
how
exactly.
can they tell when it's midday or when it's not midday?
Yeah.
So approximation, okay? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you have to look at the sun and then stand in the middle, watch where your shadow is.
Yeah, because midday at certain countries would be different timing. So
yeah.
Right. So, but of course, we try to keep to the time as much as possible. Sometimes when we have to have our meal outside, sometimes the food we order arrives late, and then we have to really rush through.
If you want to be strict with the letter of the precept, then you have to make arrangement, preparation for it. But if you just, sometimes you might not be able to do it, then you just take the spirit of the precept. Okay, it's good enough.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Next, Sajal Ka from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you, Ajahn. I have a question that for my 16-year-old who has attempted taking her life and has the has again been hospitalized, trying to self-mutilate. And the reason that I hear from her is that, why do you do that? She says that it stops me from thinking. And it's for very immediate reason. It connected my mind back to you, and saying it over and again in simple terms, in terms of the mantra and anapanasati, or even via the body. But the 16-year-olds, they are living in a solidly material world. I may sound just words. These may sound just words. Is there a way to the teacher can advise that this can be put forward for them to kind of appreciate and understand? And it may be hopeless, but I think that I just wish somebody could tell me that how to phrase it so that she can understand and actually try to gain from it, rather than take them as just some words from a book or some show or something like that, because there is some amount of this thing is probably necessary, whether it's her place or time in the thing, to be ready to listen to Dhamma in any matter of form without kind of pushing it back. But there is always, I can actually learn maybe that how to present these solidly founded approaches or methodology that is being used by the practitioners again and again and again with success. So what would I do to bring that kind of offer that, so that, or is there something the way you would put it to a 16-year-old, please?
What are you trying to tell her?
She's saying that that kind of hurting herself. Why do you do that? Because it stops her from thinking. I'm not saying what kind of thinking. I'm saying that there are ways of stopping your thinking. So I say things like that you know from your teaching, for example. But for the kid, they have that tendency to outright reject. It's like another thing. And so is there a way to, because these processes are so simple, so how can I bring it to her so that she can practice a little bit? Actually, it's part of the meditation or something. She says, I have tried meditation, it doesn't work. And they kind of brush it aside. It annoys me. On the other hand, I'm thinking that I'm not able to present in a suitable way to, perhaps.
Well, I don't know what to say, really, because she wants to stop thinking because she's not happy with her thoughts. Tell her to think of things that will make her happy. Say, if she's having bad thoughts, then she should replace her bad thoughts with good thoughts. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say. Her thoughts made her unhappy.
Yes.
And you want her to stop these thoughts, right? Like we say like we know in Buddhism, we use mindfulness to stop our thoughts. So she has to focus her mind on something to stop thinking. If she does like mantra, maybe can she focus on her breath, on her breathing? Keep her mind busy doing something else, so that she won't have to talk. She won't have to think.
Think.
If she can focus on what she's doing at the moment. If she's walking, just focus on walking and not thinking about anything. This is the method of stopping your thoughts, your bad thoughts anyway. So she has to have something to do in order to pull her mind away from her bad thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why people sometimes they don't know how to do it directly with the mind, so they isolate themselves, using the body to isolate from staying in a place causing them to think badly. So they go on a vacation or something, right? So when you're on vacation, you forget about the things that you left behind you. So your thoughts, you don't think about those thoughts. But this is temporarily, because when you come back, the whole thing come back again. So this is what people usually do when they have bad thoughts. When they become unhappy, they go someplace else, go do something else, go to a movie, go to a
listen
party,
to music,
listen
to music.
Diversion. That's what I'm talking
Diversion.
about. But they use the physical diversion, see, which is not effective. It might work briefly, and after a while, when you can't return, then you come back to the same old bad thoughts again. So you shouldn't use the physical diversion. You should use the mental diversion. Think of something else. Reading, listening to Dhamma talks if you can, or read Dhamma books. These are ways of getting her mind away from her bad thoughts. Or focus on what she is doing. Maybe she go on exercising or doing something. Just focus on what she is doing with her exercising. If she's running, just focus on her running. If she's walking, just focus on walking. If she's doing yoga or whatever, just focus on what she's doing. See, this is the way of diverting the mind from bad thoughts. I don't know how else to explain it to someone.
Yeah. No, but I think you gave a very beautiful summary, and I'll play this thing for her to listen to when she gets back home. I think we're going to do it together. So yeah, I think you give a lot of examples right here. So yeah, thank you, Thanajan.
Do some do activities like do chanting with her.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Do group chanting or something like that. Put her mind away from thinking about. And when she starts to see that this diversion works, then she might continue on alone by herself, by doing chanting mentally, chanting if she can.
Yeah, she actually expressed interest to attend your Zoom meetings, and she was asking me, and I was thinking, so that is very curious opening right there. So, but somehow she's again hospitalized, so she could not join today. She was thinking about joining alongside me. I said, but you have to be very patient and respectful. She agreed to all that, and but it somehow could not happen today. So yeah.
Maybe you can explain to her the basic or the fundamental of the mind. That the mind is the one who thinks. It can think good thoughts and it could think bad thoughts, but it depends on how it's been taught to think. If it's been taught to think bad thought, it will keep thinking bad thoughts. So you can try to reverse this by teaching it how to think about good thoughts. Bad thoughts are usually different by the defilement, the greed, hate, or delusion. So you can switch the bad thought to good thought by thinking about doing charity work, thinking about keeping the precept, thinking about diverting your mind by the method of mindfulness or meditation. Maybe you explain to her the fundamental of why we have to do this thing. Then she might understand and might want to try it.
Try it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because if she doesn't understand what she is doing, then she have no interest, no inspiration.
Yes.
But if you tell her that if you do this, you'll stop your bad thoughts, and you'll feel better when your bad thoughts stop, and your mind becomes peaceful and happy.
Yeah, it kind of needs to be analyzed, analytically expressed that the way you just did. I think that what I'm not able to do, like you're kind of lucid explaining the connections between the one or the other and how it is happening, then it will probably, it will kind of pique their interest, really. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Tanajan, thank you very much.
All right. Next, Michael Bisert. Haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been?
Good to see you again, Tanajan. Yeah, it has been 3 months since the last time I participated in a live talk. I'm still dedicating much of my time to the practice, doing walking meditation and sitting meditation. It has been very rewarding. I think it's a great decision I made about more than a year ago. And the reason I'm coming today is because I have a specific question. And the question is about what can one interpret the difference in terms of either feelings or in terms of emotions or thinking between what is in Pali nibbida, which is disenchantment, usually translated in English, and vibhava tanha, which is craving for non-existence. So I think there is a similarity between those two terms, but is there a way to distinguish between them? How can someone identify whether the experience that one is having is either nibbida or vibhava tanha?
Well, I think nibbida really means this passion. You have lost your passion for life, for instance, for doing certain thing. Because you see with wisdom that is useless, that it's causing you more dukkha than giving you happiness. So this is the real nibbida, this passion from wisdom. Seeing things in this world is dukkha, not happiness. See, and why vibhava tanha is the desire to not get the things that you don't like, the thing that makes you unhappy, such as you don't want to get old, you don't want to get sick, or you don't want to die. This is vibhava tanha. It's different. Vibhava tanha means the desire not to get what you dislike. Whatever you dislike, you don't want to have it. This is called vibhava tanha. While nibbida means you see with wisdom that everything in this world is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you lose the passion for things, for people, for anything. Because you see that if you get involved with them, you will get dukkha sooner or later. This is my understanding in a way.
Yeah, my feeling is that a really strong motivation for my practice is that what I experience is that the majority of people I have contact, they lack mindfulness, they are influenced by greed, anger, and delusion. And my preference is simply not to have the contact, because there is no way. Also, the vast majority of people don't have any interest in the Dhamma, because they are so entangled in the world that the Dhamma has no meaning. So really, based on that is my motivation for practice, because I think, well, the more I practice, the greater the chance that I will be able to not have that experience anymore. So this is what I recall, or what I see as my motivation for practice.
Yes, and you have nibbida with those people because you see that associating with them is useless. It's wasting time. But you have to also be careful. Should you have to meet them If you still have the desire not to meet them, then this is vibhava tanha.
I see.
So if you have to meet them, you just do it for courtesy, out of courtesy sake. You meet them, but you try not to mingle with them more than you have to. But if you try to avoid meeting them, then this is vibhava tanha. You should be able to meet everything that you dislike. If you have nibbida, real nibbida, because real nibbida comes from having upekkha as the support.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can, when you have upekkha, you can meet things you like or you dislike, because your mind does not react to both of them.
Yes, I understand, Tanajan. Thank you very much. I really, most of the time I feel frustrated because, as I said, people have really difficulty in understanding the Dhamma. And so, but I understand what you say, and that's what I try to do. I mean, there is no point in avoiding contact or when it's necessary, or to be, let's say, to have a kind of comfort behavior that will be damaging, both to the person and also to me. So the best thing is really to be equanimous, to have a balanced behavior.
That's right. I think part of the problem in the West is you read too much Dhamma, and the knowledge that you read, you misinterpreted them, and you become confused by your interpretation of the Dhamma. So sometimes it's better not to know too much of the Dhamma. You should just know what you have to do, and don't worry about the rest of them. Like a lot of Ajahn in Thailand, they were uneducated. They couldn't read books. And so they don't know much about all the Dhamma in the Tripitaka. They only stay with a teacher, and the teacher just teach them to use Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. And that's all they do. So they don't have to worry about all this knowledge that they might have if they study the scriptures, and can be sort of obstruction to the practice, because they keep thinking about the what you call the paradox of some of the teaching. Yeah. So it's better not to know too much Dhamma, really. Just to know what to practice, what you have to practice. Like mindfulness, just use Bhutto or focus on your body. And this will lead you to upekkha. Once you have upekkha, you understand the goal of your practice is to maintain this upekkha in your mind by stopping your cravings, your desire. So you don't really have to know all these things about the Noble Eightfold Path, whatever. You know, just know how to get to upekkha. Once you get to upekkha, the Dhamma inside your mind will appear. Whatever caused the mind to become restless, you know this is defilement. And you just know you have to get rid of this defilement to stop your mind from being restless or agitated. So in real time of practice, you can avoid 99% of the knowledge that is being put in the Tripitaka. But I think people misunderstand. They thought the more you study, the more you will understand the Dhamma, which is a paradox. The less you study the Dhamma and the more you practice the Dhamma, you will understand the Dhamma. True Dhamma appears in your mind from your practice. So once you can get to upekkha, get to jhana, then you start to see all the Dhamma inside your mind, both the good and the bad karma, good and bad Dhamma appearing in your mind. And you can see that the good Dhamma keeps you calm, makes you cool, and you'll see the bad Dhamma cause you to become hot, become heated, become restless and agitated.
Yeah.
So you study the real scripture, which is your mind. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much,
So
Ajahn.
just try to develop mindfulness and jhana. Once you
Yes.
get to jhana, then you'll see your mind, see all the working inside your mind, see the good Dhamma coming up and see the bad Dhamma coming up. Then you can then get rid of the bad karma and just keep the good Dhamma.
I don't think I will be able to develop a jhana because I mentioned in a previous talk with you that I have this problem of ringing in the ear, and but I have what I reckon as upachara samadhi, which is silencing the thoughts and being able to really see things more clearly. Because when there are no thoughts, it's much more clear. But I think in this life, I will not have the experience of jhana. But I think my level of samadhi is enough to see things clearly. Probably
especially
not,
inside things you should see inside, not the outside.
Yes, that's
see
right.
how your mind thinks.
That's right. Yes. So, but despite all the discomfort that this ring in the ear causes, it doesn't demotivate me from the practice. So I still handle with it, and it varies a lot. It's not the same all the time. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more intense. But I have found a way to work with it.
Good.
So thank you very much. And
Yeah,
good
try
see
to empty your mind, and then you'll start to see things in your mind clearly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are you still working on some of the translation, or you stop working now?
No. I have since I began my practice when the pandemic began, March last year. I haven't done translations. Of course, I did the translation of your book, but after that, no more translations. I'm dedicating most of my time really to the practice, as much as my body can afford, because I'm really a little bit old, so there is some restrictions, but I do as much as I can.
Okay, very good. Don't worry about jhana, just worry about mindfulness. Stop your mind from thinking.
Yes.
Although not completely, at least when the less that you think, the lighter your mind becomes.
Yes.
And the more peaceful the mind becomes.
Yes. Yeah. I understand and I agree. I know that.
Okay. Any more
Thank you very
questions?
much, Ajahn.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Come back from time to time if you have any question.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Vince Chua from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no question today.
No question. Okay.
Yeah.
Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have two questions today. First one is how to overcome laziness to practice.
Laziness?
Yeah,
well,
laziness.
You should replace laziness with diligence. Every time you're lazy, you should work twice as harder than normal.
Oh, okay.
If you're lazy, then you have to force yourself to practice twice as much than when you're not lazy. This is a way to punish your laziness.
Oh, okay. I see.
Tell yourself that the only way to get anything done is not by laziness. The Buddha say you can be liberated from dukkha only by being diligent, by having viriya, not by having a wish to be liberated from dukkha. will get you there. It's the diligence in your practice that will get you to your goal. It's like traveling. If you don't keep on walking, you won't get to where you want to go. So you have to keep walking, even though when you're lazy, you have to force yourself. And keep reminding yourself that you're running out of time. Time is running out because you don't know when you're gonna die. If you think like this, then it might motivate you to get up and do the practice. Okay.
Okay. Another question is, sometimes I feel sad when I see my body is getting fat. So I just keep reminding myself that the body is in fact loathsome and nothing is attractive, even if the body is slim. And eventually the body will become a corpse, which is not attractive at all. So am I doing the right approach, and how to deal with this problem?
Well, see the result. You feel better or you still feel bad?
Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not.
When you feel bad, what made you feel bad about the body?
Yeah, I just want to see, I have the desire to see the body in a good shape. That's what I like. Yes. Although I know it's useless.
Then you ask yourself, who's the one that's making this body in a bad shape? You're the one, right?
Yes.
You're eating too much, right?
Yes.
So who are you gonna blame then? Blame yourself.
Yes.
Blame you're eating too much. So if you want to have a good shape, then you reduce your food intake, eat less, and do more exercise, do more walking meditation.
Yes.
Who's to blame? You're to blame. So you don't want to look at the culprit. You're trying to forget who's causing all this problem. The one who's causing this problem is yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to tackle at the culprit, the one who's causing this problem is yourself. You're eating too much. Why don't try to contemplate on the loathsomeness of food? Every time you want to eat, think of the food in your stomach. Think of the food you vomit. Think of the food that you discharge in the toilet. This can help you get rid of your desire to eat.
Okay. So I mean the desire to have a good shape. How to say? Yeah, I know I'm the culprits. So it's like if I put the effort to get back to the good shape, I mean, is it the right way?
You want to maintain the body at the best physical level that the body can be, not for beauty, but for maintaining a carefree body, a body that is not being afflicted by illnesses or anything like that. So there's a certain amount of things that you have to do to maintain the body, to keep it healthy and strong. And when you're overeating, maybe when you look at the wrong thing, you look at the shape of the body and you're not happy with the shape. But this is not the main concern. The main concern is to keep the body healthy and strong. So if this is the purpose, then it's okay. But if the purpose is for you to maintain the beauty of your body, then this is wrong. Because the body, it might look good, but one day it's gonna change anyway. It will get old, get sick, and die eventually. And we don't want to rely on having a good-looking body to make you happy, because this is delusional type of happiness, and it can cause you dukkha. when it doesn't go according to what you want it to be. So don't worry about the beauty of the body. Yeah. Because especially when you contemplate on a sutta, you know, beauty of the body is really skin deep. Yeah. Beauty is skin deep. Once you look under the skin, there's nothing beautiful about this body. So I think the problem with you is you tackle at the wrong problem, at the wrong point. You should tackle at your overeating, your desire to eat food more than necessary. The Buddha teaches us to eat moderation in food. As a practitioner, we have to know how to eat moderately, not too much and not too little. Too little, it can cause your body to become skinny and get sick. Too much, it will cause your body to become fat and also get sick. So you want to eat the middle path of eating, let's put it that way. Not too much and not too little. Just eat enough to get rid of the hunger. Don't need to make it full and happy from eating a lot of food. As soon as you feel that you're no longer hungry, then you should stop eating. Don't eat until you feel full. If you want to feel full, instead of eating, just drink a few glasses of water instead. And you'll feel full, but it won't hurt your body this way. But the purpose of eating is to maintain life, maintain the body, and to get rid of hunger. So as soon as you don't feel hungry for food, then you should stop eating. Okay?
Okay.
Or eat once a day. Just eat once a day.
Okay.
Like monks, most forest tradition monks, they only eat once a day.
I have tried to eat once a day, but there's a tendency if I eat once a day, then I tend to eat more because there's only one meal of the day.
And besides, you still have problem with your body, right? That you feel that you have to need to eat 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So you can eat 3 times a day, but you can reduce the amount that you eat. See? Only eat half portion of what you normally eat. If you eat for medicinal purpose, maybe you have to eat because to take care of your body, you know. Because maybe your body right now is sick and it needs the food. You know. Okay, your second question?
Yeah, this is my second question.
Already?
Yes.
Okay. Then let me go to Philip and Adeline from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Good evening, Tanajan. I have a question with regards to.
Can you speak louder?
Okay, let me bring it closer. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but not as loud.
Can you hear?
Okay.
Okay, I got a question with regards to my meditation practice. Recently, when I was meditating, and after a while, where the mind goes into peace, and after the meditation practice, right, this thought keeps on appearing in the mind that how nice is it for me not to have a body? I mean, it's actually opposite to the question just now, and you know, it's nice for me to be able to stay in that calm for a longer time, because I know that many times that when I have to come out from my meditation is because I have to do a lot of body functions, like go to the toilet, go to the turn, and that has caused that kind of aversion to the rupa, the rupa, and and it's always been, I say, I would rather not have the body and stay in that. I know it's a defilement. For those that are attached to the body, you can do the 32 parts contemplation. Is there anything to do with this, or just continue with my meditation?
Well, what you think is the right thought. See, that's what the Buddha said. The Buddha said the Buddha is a heavy burden. So it's better not to have a body if it's at all possible.
Yeah, because I mean I noticed that it takes too much. It takes too much time. It takes too much effort to cater or to take care of the body. You have to feed it. You have to clean it. You have to do a lot of things, and you just wasted a lot of time.
So you have to try to develop your practice to the point where you no longer need to have a body. You're on the right track. This is a good thought. It's nothing wrong. That's exactly what the Buddha said. He said the body is a heavy burden that you have to look after. Without the body, then you won't have to worry about looking after it, taking care of it. It's like a car, like an automobile, right? If you have a car and you don't have a car, there's a difference. If you have a car, then you have to look after your car, find a parking space. You have to take it into the shop to have it maintained, change the oil, and fix all the parts when it goes wrong. But if you don't have a car, then there's no problem, right? This problem will disappear. You use Uber instead. Use taxi instead.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, good.
So this is what the body is to the mind, really. That's what it is. It's just an automobile that the mind used to take the mind to places that the mind wants to go, see and hear and feel and touch. But if you can develop your practice to a point where you have contentment, you're happy without having to see or hear anything, then you won't need to have a body anymore. So you have to practice until you can get rid of your fetters, your sensual desire fetters. Without the sensual desire, then there is no need to have a body. And anagami doesn't return to this world of sensual realm of existence because it has no sensual desire anymore. But it still has other more subtle desire, the desire for happiness within the mind itself, which is also a form of fetters. That's why an anagami will still take birth in the rupa and the arupa realm, but not in the sensual realm of existence, because it no longer has any sensual desire. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Pandra.
So just keep practicing and try to restrain your sensual desire. Every time you want to watch a movie, yes, don't do it. Every time you want to eat something or drink something for the pleasure, then you should not do it. If you're thirsty, just drink plain water. You don't need to drink something that has taste or smell or color. Just drink plain water. That's what the body needs. It doesn't need soft drinks, juices, and all this. These are for the sensual desire, like coffee, tea, and so forth. All the body needs is just plain water to keep it hydrated. So if you want to abandon the desire, the sensual desire, then you should do what I tell you. Only drink just plain water. Don't drink coffee, don't drink tea, don't drink anything with taste or color or smell. Because these are sensual objects, right? Taste is sensual object, smell is sensual object, color is sensual object. So the body doesn't need this thing. The body only needs the water to keep it hydrated. to keep it from being thirsty. And same way with food, you just eat food once a day, that's all you need for the body. And after that, don't eat anything. Then you will reduce a lot of your sensual desire this way, dealing with what you drink and what you eat. But there are other things that you also have to reduce, like watching entertainment, anything that of entertainment value, you should stop. Only watch or hear that is things that is educational value, especially Dhamma value, or what you have to know in order to keep your work going well. Then you might have to follow all the information that deal with your work, for instance. But don't do it for pleasure, for entertainment. Then you will be reducing down a lot of your sensual desire. Then your need for use to have the body will be lessened, and eventually you'll find that you don't need to have the body, because anytime you want to be happy, you just meditate.
Correct. That's correct, because Tanajan, just to update, I mean, I have been kind of cutting off the only having meals up to lunchtime for I think probably it's a month since Vesak Day until now, you know, and this has occurred simultaneously with what I've actually described, you know, of abandoning of the body during the meditation. So I don't have meals at night right now. I mean, try to cut down my entertainment. You know, don't read nonsense anymore.
Yeah. Even what you eat, you also have to be careful. You don't want to eat for the sake of the taste or the smell of the food. Yeah. So you have to try to avoid eating the things you like, and try to eat the food that you don't like. But it's nutritious and it's good for your body. Try to eat food like you're taking medicine. Only look at the nutritious value instead of the pleasure value, the enjoyment value. If you want to really take control of your sensual desire, this is what you need to do. Okay?
Understand. Thank you,
right. Adeline, you have no question?
No questions today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then next is Cindy and Monica. Where's your daughter today? She's not here.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. She's having a training meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, quite regularly.
You have any question today?
Yes. Actually, during a recent sitting, I find that I have very strong aversion towards pain. There was this calm, you know, then after that, at the slight pain, there is a temptation to ask me to stop. So first time I managed to sort of overcome it, but then later on, I couldn't overcome it because there's always this voice telling me, I think it's enough already, you know, you can stop. But actually the pain was still bearable. So may I know how can I overcome this strong aversion?
Well, this aversion for pain is called vibhava tanha. Just like what Michael mentioned earlier on, vibhava tanha. The desire not to have something you dislike, like painful feeling. There are two ways of dealing with painful feelings. One is to ignore it by focusing your mind on something so you forget about the pain entirely. Like focus on your mantra, for instance. When you start to pay attention to your painful feeling, then force your mind to keep reciting the mantra until you forget about the pain. then when the mind forget about the pain, then this aversion for the pain will subside or stop temporarily. And you will feel that it's okay to have the pain. Because what is really unbearable is not the painful feeling, but your aversion, your dukkha that created by your aversion for pain. So you have to stop this by focusing your mind on a mantra. Keep reciting mantra or keep chanting until you forget about the physical pain. When you forget, then your aversion for this will disappear. And the dukkha that arises from the aversion will also disappear. Then you can be sitting and not being disturbed by the pain of the body. This is one method. The second method is once you can do the first method, then you have a strong enough mind to teach the mind to look at the physical pain as being anatta, as a natural phenomena, like the rain, the sun, the wind. They come and go, and you have to learn to live with them, because there is nothing you can do to prevent them from coming or tell them to stop when they come, like the rain. So look at the painful feeling that, like the rain. You could live with the rain, you should be able to live with the painful feeling. The reason why you cannot live with the painful feeling is your aversion, which you have managed to deal with it by using mindfulness. Now you want to teach the mind to stop this aversion by looking at the truth that aversion doesn't help your mind, doesn't make your mind feel comfortable. It makes your mind discomfortable. So you should get rid of your aversion by accepting the painful feeling as part of your life. Like you accept the rain, the wind, the sun. They are part of your life. You cannot get rid of them. So if you can teach your mind to do this, then there will be no aversion to pain when the pain arises. And then the mind can coexist with the painful feeling, because the mind will remain calm and not reacting to the pain, having no aversion for the pain. You understand what I'm trying to say?
So during the sitting, should I actually give instruction to say just watch the pain, just treat it like rain, or should I just?
Well,
yes.
Try it. You have to try it to find out for yourself whether your mind will be obedient to your instruction or not.
Okay, all right.
If it's obedient, then you have no problem. Just tell the mind, okay, you're the mind, you're not the body. And the mind isn't the one that is in pain. The one who is in pain is the body. But the body is not complaining. The one who is complaining is the mind.
Yes.
And you might have to use this rationality to convince your mind to stop this aversion. Because this aversion is hurting the mind, not the painful feeling of the body.
I think I tried the first method, that is by reciting the Buddha. So after a while, actually the aversion stops. But then after that, it sneaks back again.
Then you have to recite again. Then you have to recite again.
Okay. All right.
It's like an automobile that is running. When you step on the brake, it stops. But when you put off the brake, then it keeps running again. So as long as the aversion is still there, and if you have to be with the pain, then you just have to keep reciting the mantra or keep chanting.
Okay.
Like sometimes when you're sick in the hospital, for instance, and the pain just keep coming, it won't go away. So if you recite the mantra, then the aversion will disappear and your mind become calm and able to cope with the painful feeling of the body. But as soon as you stop, maybe after a while, the aversion start to arise again, then you have to recite the mantra again.
Okay.
Unless you can teach your mind to accept the pain, and teach your mind that the pain is not the one who is in pain. The one who is in pain is the body. And the body is not complaining because the body doesn't have any consciousness. The body doesn't know that it is in pain. But the mind has consciousness. And due to delusion, the mind thinks it is the body. This is the problem. So you have to teach your mind that the mind is not the body. The mind is the one who knows, who thinks, who just happen to be connected to the body, that's all.
Yeah, I think I can try the second method.
Yeah, try to teach it using reason. And then when the mind eventually see this, then it will accept the pain, because it's just merely knowing the pain, that's all. That's the function of the mind, just merely knowing the pain. But the delusion deceived the mind to think that the mind is the one who is in pain. The one who is in pain is the body. But since the delusion claims the body to be the mind, so when anything happens to the body, the mind feels that it's happening to the mind also.
Yeah, true. It's very sneaky.
You have to do
keep on
this.
sticking up.
You have to do this in real time. Okay,
yes,
thinking
true.
about it right now is just theoretical.
True.
You have to do it when the pain arises, and teach your mind that the pain is in the body, not in the mind.
I hope I can apply your instruction then. Okay. Thank you, Tanajan.
Try it. You know, it might not work the first time, but keep trying, because you will always you will always have painful feeling, and if you just keep teaching your mind this, maybe one day your mind will understand, and then you'll just let go of the aversion of the pain to the pain.
Yes. True.
Then the mind will be able to coexist with the pain of the body.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Tanajan.
Next, Kunia Wan Suyono. I hope I pronounce your name correctly.
Yeah, just call me Kun.
Okay, Kun.
I have no question today.
You're from Indonesia.
Yeah, from Indonesia.
Okay, right. Next is Alfredo. Alfredo from Brazil. You're cold, huh? You have no heater in your house?
Hi, Bante. Here, now is winter here.
You have no heater?
What?
Do you have heater in your house? Heater.
Heater.
To keep your house warm. You don't
Not
have heater.
my house is very cold. My house is cold in forest, near forest near my house. Very trees and very trees. Here is cold. But I like. But I have a commentary. Most people here say that have problems in thoughts. Buddha give a example to us that I think is an excellent example. If other people give a gift to you and you not accept the gift, it's not a problem. It's not a vibhava tanha. It's sati. You not give. You not give to accept that. Accept other things that you think is not good to you. Other people is not have a problem. If other people don't like of you or don't accept your things about the life, is normal. My friends don't like me practice Buddhism. My friends don't like me good meditation and not work. But for me, it's not a problem. I not fight to to my friends because he's taught me to not meditate, to not practice, to win money, and me normal. I don't accept this. Né? I think our thoughts have to sati to know what is good and what not good. If not practice, not goes to illumination, not goes to leave samsara. Samsara is not good. Samsara is a problem. Né? The Buddhist peoples know to have samsara is not good. Né? The stage of enlightenment is good to us. Né? Então, I think the example of Buddha is very good. If other peoples give a gift to you, not accept. Give a monk too. If a monk give words that you not accept, you don't have accept. You have to do what you think, what you have to sampajanas, né? Buddha, the way of Buddha, practice, gochara, né? In brief, and anatta, né? I think this.
Okay, good. Just be neutral. No like or no like or dislike. What people say or do, let them say or do. No reaction to what they say or do, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is the right way of practice. To keep your mind calm and peaceful.
Yes.
The goal is to maintain calm and peacefulness because that's where the real happiness is.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Good talking to you. Keep
Good
warm.
talking, but
stay warm.
Thanks.
Okay. Next, Su Lan from Singapore.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah. Nice to see you again. Hope you are well. So I have 2 questions. My first question is, I see that in the suttas, there are teachers that will admonish the sangha members, or like bhikkhus, or if let's say they are unwise or unskillful. So I'm just wondering, like for lay people, who should we ask for admonishment? This is my first question.
Well, if you cannot find a teacher, then you have to rely on yourself to admonish yourself. If you know you are doing something wrong, then you should admonish yourself. Now, if you're breaking the precept, then you say, "Oh, this is bad. You should not do it." If you don't have a teacher, because normally to have a teacher, usually refer to monks. Monks, once they become ordained, they have to live with a teacher to guide and instruct his behavior. But as a lay person, you don't have a teacher close by. You might go to the monastery from time to time and maybe ask for advice. If you think you're doing something wrong, then you go ask the teacher whether this is right or not, and he can give you the answer. But otherwise, if you are away from your teacher, then you have to be your own teacher. The Buddha said, "Attahi atano nato." You are your own refuge. So how can you be your own teacher? By studying the Dhamma, so that you know what you have to do and what you not have to do. The Buddha said you have to avoid doing all evil things, like killing, stealing, committing adultery, lying, and drinking alcohol, or drugs that makes you mindless. And also avoid participating in vices like gambling and drinking, and having sort of a fun, play around. These are the things that you should not participate in. And do only good things like doing charity work, helping other people. And then meditate, practice meditation. So this can be your teacher. You can use this as the measurement of your behavior.
Okay.
Second question.
Yeah, Ajahn. My second question is so like when I'm doing meditation, like sitting meditation, like if I don't sit straight, I hunch my back, then I'll feel like there's a sense of like tiredness. So like just now you were mentioning that it's the mind. The mind does not feel pain. It's just the body that feels pain. So in this sense, is this tiredness something in the body and not in the mind?
Yes, it's physical tiredness. When you meditate, don't pay attention to your body. Once you start meditating, just keep focused on your meditation object. If you pay attention to your body, then you'll be distracted and you will not be able to concentrate and get the result from your meditation. So when you start to meditate, you forget about the body. Okay.
So when I'm feeling the tiredness in the body, I'll just focus on the Buddha.
Yes, just focus on the Buddha or watching your breath and ignore the tiredness of the body.
Okay.
Until you can no longer concentrate on your Buddha or on your breath. And then you might have to give up your meditation for that period, that time, and go take a rest maybe if your body is really tired.
Okay.
But if it is tired because every time you meditate, it just becomes tired. But when you go watch a movie and you're not tired, then this is your defilement.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Who is next on the screen here? Evie from Indonesia. Hi, Evie.
Hi, Ajahn. Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes, go ahead.
Ajahn, I just finished chanting and meditation. I want to ask, is present moment when we meditate is very important? Because I just did it. I did it because my feet started to feel uncomfortable, especially it started to numb. So I have to pay attention to the tip of nose very seriously. And when I attention to the tip of nose serious, this is the present moment I feel. And it feels like a sharp attention ahead, only now. And sometimes there is a very bright light and the sound of my breath and the sound of my heartbeat is very clear here. I only hear these two kind sound and no other sound again. And I feel like entering myself. I like feel enter myself inside.
You should ignore all these feelings. Just pay attention to your meditation object because you want to empty your mind of everything. And the mind will only be empty if you keep focusing on your breath or on your mantra. Just ignore everything. Everything are just distraction or they are delusion. They are illusion. They're not important. You don't have to worry about them. Just keep worrying about your concentration because you want to make the mind empty, peaceful, and happy that way.
Okay, Ajahn.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Is that all for now?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go to Claudia then. Claudia from Germany. Hi, Claudia. Can you hear me? All right. Go ahead, speak.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening to Thailand and good afternoon from Germany. I have no questions today.
Okay. You still doing translation work?
Yes, of course. Currently, I'm able to do more translation. I work more at school. That's why I can't be here maybe once in a while. But I also have time at school for about 1 hour per day and do the translation at school where I work. So this is also an advantage. So I'm progressing very well in translation.
What do you do with the translation so far? Do you share with people?
My plan is to translate the book completely first by handwriting. And then I also want to talk with Kenneth about the first translation results when I have questions. And then I want to upload it to the internet or to send it to your assistant.
Okay. All right. Keep doing it then. If you find it helpful, makes you understand more about the practice.
Oh yes, it's so helpful. It's very good for me. Yeah.
Yes, I think that should be the goal. Give you the right understanding about the practice, so it will help you in your practice.
Yes, it does.
And don't forget to practice.
No, no. And what I realize is to do the translation makes my mind very calm. So during the time when I translate, I'm so focused on the translation. I'm very calm, and I realize that my day is always better when I did the translation. So it's really very, very helpful.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
You're welcome. Let me go to Lillian from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today, just listening in.
All right. About ST, you're next.
Evening, Ajahn.
No question also.
No questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you.
I think that's about all people who turn on the video. So maybe we should go to Facebook. Do we have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, we have 8 questions from Facebook, Ajahn. There are 3 questions from Poliang Soon. The first question is, what is the purpose of walking meditation and can it achieve the samadhi?
Well, there is 2 purposes of walking meditation. If you practice all the time, all day long, after you sit for a while, a long time, your body will become tired and aching. So you have to relieve the pressure by doing walking meditation instead. So the purpose is to alleviate the physical ache and pain of the body from sitting over a long period of time. But you want to continue on with your practice, so you change your position from sitting to walking. But then you continue on with your practice of mindfulness. When you walk, you want to develop mindfulness. Or if you're on the level of vipassana, you can use walking meditation to develop vipassana by contemplating on the nature of things like the body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, for instance. So this is what you get from walking meditation. One for the body and one for the mind. You either do mindfulness or you develop wisdom from your walking meditation.
And the second question from Poliang Soon is, can Ajahn describe jhana in detail?
Jhana in detail, I cannot describe. It's something you have to do it. Yeah. Just keep watching your breath, reciting the mantra, and don't be distracted by anything. Then eventually your mind will drop into jhana. You'll know it when you get there, so there's no need to explain. Explain to you doesn't, it's like telling green and red color to a blind person. It's better to tell the blind person to take off his blind so he can see the green and red for himself.
And the third question from Poliang Soon is, I have plenty of time to meditate, but I can't make it, especially in daytime. Can Ajahn give me an advice?
Well, if you cannot meditate, then you should do chanting or do walking meditation instead, until your mind have more mindfulness. Then you can come and sit and meditate.
Next question from Tony. Good evening, Pante. When practice meditation, is it mindful and samadhi will come together?
When you practice meditation, you have to have mindfulness. If you don't have mindfulness, your mind will keep thinking and your mind will not become calm. And if your mind is not calm, you have no samadhi. So you have to have mindfulness, strong mindfulness, to stop your mind from thinking. Once your mind stops from thinking, then your mind will become calm. And this is what we call samadhi.
Next question from George Lim Tian Boon. Dear Ajahn, I am just curious. When someone becomes fully enlightened, does it mean that you will also understand all the physics, chemistry, biology, and other phenomena in this world?
No. You only understand the mental knowledge. The other physical sciences he doesn't understand.
Next question from Mei Ying Lo. Good evening, Ajahn. I wonder if Ajahn would advise on how to reduce strong conditioning of attachment to money and material.
Look at money as being temporary, being not reliable. Sometimes you can lose your money. Sometimes you cannot get the money you want to get. So when you run into this uncertainty, it can cause you worry, anxiety, and stress. So teach your mind the impermanent nature of money.
And the next question is from Siwa A. Dear Ajahn, I am practicing meditation and mindfulness most of the time. If I miss it for 1 or 2 days, will it affect my practice? I mean, will I lose all my already gained focus?
Not really. You just might slow down your progress, your advance. So if you can, try not to stop doing it. Do it as much as you can. But as soon as you start to do less, then you will not be advancing, but you will be retreating. Is that all?
And the last question from George Lim Tian Boon. Ajahn, while I reciting Putto, must I be aware of in and out breath as well?
Not necessarily. You can use Putto alone without having to watch your breath. If you use the mantra, just focus on your mantra alone. Putto, 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 and don't worry about the breath. And likewise, the other way, vice versa. If you watch your breath, then you don't have to worry about Putto also. You can do this also. Just keep watching your breath alone only. But some people like to mix them, like to have both of them. So they watch the breath as they recite the Putto also. So this is more or less the 3 methods that you can choose. The breath alone, the mantra alone, or the combination of both. Like nowadays, when you go to pizza, you can choose the flavor you want. One flavor or the other, or you want to have a combination. I see Oyek who just came in, but now he's turned off his video. Oyek, you want to ask any question? Probably not. Okay, we have Kunia. You want to ask question? Go ahead and mute your microphone. All right.
Ajahn,
Please speak louder.
I have. Hello.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Hello, Ajahn.
Yes.
Yeah. So, just wanted to check when we are sick. Actually, the pain is looks so. What do you call it? It's very appear to us directly, right? When we are sick. But if we can coexist with the pain, we can feel calm even we are in pain. The question is, should we still need the medicine to cure our sick, or we just coexist with the pain until the pain is it's recovery by itself?
It's up to you. If you want to use medicine to help, it's okay. If it's available. If there's no medicine, then you just have to let the body cure itself.
Okay, because sometimes it's some thinking that if we are consuming medicine, maybe we want to get rid of the pain, right? By consuming medicine. Is it a good desire, or while when we are practicing, we have to coexist with the pain, but we are consume medicine, we have a desire or maybe expectation to get rid of the pain. Which one is the best things to take, Ajahn?
You have to separate the two from each other. First, you want to teach your mind to learn to be able to live, to exist with the pain. Once you can do that, then taking the medicine doesn't mean that you want to get rid of the pain. But you have the duty to look after your body. If you still want to have a strong and healthy body, then you have to take medicine. Like eating. Eating is like medicine also. So this is your duty. If you still have to rely on your body to get you to Nibbana, let's put it that way. But once you get to Nibbana, then you can either look after it or you don't have to look after it. It doesn't matter anymore because you already get to the destination that you want to go.
Okay.
But the Buddha and his noble disciple, even though they have got to their destination, they still look after the body because they can use the body to help other people by teaching them the Dhamma. So that's why the Buddha still take medicine when he's sick. And all the noble disciples still do it. But not for themselves, but for the sake of teaching Dhamma to those who doesn't have Dhamma.
Okay, so I was sick before and I'm trying to be coexist with the pain, but my family cannot look at me as a sick all the time, so he give me a medicine. Apparently I take the medicine, but is it the right thing to do? So should I try to reject?
Yes, you have to look after your body. You haven't become enlightened yet. So you need to have this body so that you can then use this body to take you to monastery to practice Dhamma. If your body is sick, you cannot go to the monastery to practice Dhamma.
Okay.
But if you don't you don't need to have the body, then you don't have to look after it. You don't have to take medicine if you want to.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask a question? Billy from Indonesia.
Yes, I would like to ask with regards the painful feeling. Do we need to have apana samadhi to completely let go of the painful feeling? Because from my understanding, in that state, then we are able to see that the mind is separating from the body. Or we can just keep reminding ourselves that the mind is not the body and the painful feeling is not the body. I mean, although we don't have apana samadhi, but eventually we can completely let go of the painful feeling.
See, if you have apana samadhi, when you're in samadhi, then the painful feeling cannot enter the mind. But after you come out of apana samadhi, the pain can enter your mind. But you have the equanimity to teach the mind to not to react to the painful feeling, which the mind can then stop creating aversion and dukkha from the aversion. But it cannot stop the painful feeling from entering the mind. But the mind will not be disturbed once the mind can teach the mind to stop the aversion for the painful feeling. So this is a vipassana level. See? So you have to do outside of apana samadhi when you do vipassana level. You have to come face to face with the painful feeling, and then teach the mind that the painful feeling is not the mind, it's not in the mind, it's in the body. And it's something that the mind cannot force it to go away. The mind just have only one option, and that is to live with the painful feeling, as long as it is connected to the body.
So
once it accepts the painful feeling of the body, then there will be no aversion, no dukkha in the mind. So the mind will not be disturbed by the physical pain.
So is it a necessary requirement to able to let go of the painful feeling?
You have to have equanimity, because if you don't, your mind will react with aversion toward the painful feeling. No matter how you try to teach the mind to stop having aversion, you cannot stop it without the apana samadhi, without the equanimity of the mind. So you need to get equanimity into the mind. Once the mind has equanimity, and when you teach the mind not to react with aversion, it will not react with aversion. But if you have no equanimity, you can tell it and it won't listen to you.
Yes.
It wants to run away from the pain. It wants to get rid of the pain. That's why you need to have equanimity first, samadhi first, before you can go to vipassana. To tell the mind to let go, to not to react to anything that bothers the mind. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tanaja.
All right. Anybody else would like to ask a question? Okay, Cindy.
Yeah. Tanaja, I would like to ask, like, normally when I contemplate on Asubha, so what would I would look through the pictures of the 32 parts and also pictures of corpses. Would it be actually better to just concentrate on one part and then move on to the next, or is it okay to look through the 32 parts and also the corpses?
Any way you like, so long as you can stop your attraction, your attraction toward the body, to the beauty of the body, to stop your sexual desire. That's the goal of the contemplation. So you can look at all the parts, or you can look at one or two particular parts that give you revulsion. That will then let go of your get rid of your sexual desire. The purpose of contemplating is to make it sink into your mind, be ever present in your mind, and whenever you need it, it will come up right away. See? That's why you have to keep contemplating. It's like memorizing the multiplication table. If you don't keep memorizing it, then it will not be in the mind when you need it. So you have to keep contemplating, looking at these Asura images until it's embedded in your mind, so that when you need it, it will come up right away. As soon as you have sexual desire, then you should be able to call up this Asura images right away.
Okay.
So whichever image that makes you have, that can stop your sexual desire, then you use that image or those images.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else?
Evie.
Evie again? Okay, Evie.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Ajahn, I want to ask, when I do walking meditation, my mind is always contemplating by itself, but the other side also doing Buddha. Can I do it together?
You have to do one or the other. If you want to contemplate, then you cannot recite a Buddha.
But the contemplating is arise by itself.
You should stop it. If you want to recite the mantra, then you should keep continuing with the mantra and ignore the thoughts that come up. Don't pay attention to it.
And if I don't want to Buddha, I just contemplate. Can I do that?
Well, you have to make up your mind which one you want, but you don't want to use both at the same time. Then you won't get anything, because they go to two different directions. See? If you recite the mantra, it will eventually stop the mind from thinking. If you contemplate, then the mind won't stop thinking. It will keep on thinking, but it will give you knowledge or wisdom. So it depends on what you want.
When like this morning, what the contemplate arise is mostly situation or thing around me, like a condition of my own body, which is always changing from the past until now. Or I remember yesterday there is a child is crying because he won that toy. So the mind pops. Look, this child he's crying because he wanted the toys. This is just like us. When we are suffer because we have wanting or desire, we can calm the child, but why we cannot calm ourselves? They contemplate is just like that. What I mean. So when I walk in meditation, this kind of thought is arise, and I just
It means your mindfulness is not strong enough. So this thought keeps rising. You're not concentrating enough. So you should force yourself to concentrate more.
Or better, I contemplate or I Buddha, Ajahn.
It's up to you. It's up to you. What do you want? You have to know what you want when you practice. You want to get rid of your thoughts, or you want to have wisdom. They go two different directions.
So I must spare the time, Ajahn. Half hour for Buddha and half hour for contemplate. Can I do that?
That's right. Like when you go to school, you don't study math and history at the same time.
Okay, Ajahn. Okay, thank you.
So same way with Vipassana and Samatha, you don't do it at the same time, okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
All right. We have Sri and Czech just came in, or just turned on the video, I'm not sure. You want to say anything?
We just turn on the video.
I see. You have a question?
No question, but I really like your answer the other day on the Q&A. I never feel connected when people are talking about like aspiration to become this and that. I don't feel that I don't need to do that. But the other day, somebody asked you about aspiration. Like, should we have aspiration? And you said, oh, we should aspire to practice instead of aspire to become this or that. Like, but to aspire to practice, and the result will come by itself.
That's right, because the practice gives you the result, not the result give you the practice.
Exactly. So it's so good. Like, it's I just thought, oh my gosh, like, got it wrong all this time. Like, shouldn't be aspiring to become sotapan or enlightened, like, but maybe to aspire to practice now, and then the result will,
If you have want to be a Sotapanna, you have to have the aspiration to get rid of your 3 fetters, the first 3 fetters. And these 3 fetters will be got rid of by your practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So you need to practice.
Yeah, I really like how you said, like, aspire to practice instead of aspire to become become somebody or something.
Because that's the consequence of from your practice.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes people got it wrong. They put aspiration in the result, and they never get the result because they don't put the aspiration on the practice.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah. Like, we got it, like, yeah, it's very simple answer, but like, it's very profound at the same time.
Okay, and no question, huh?
I don't know. So
For me, no question, but just like what you have taught me. Just remember one sutta, like, and it's also like leading to practice like anapanasati. So when think of this, then you go and practice. Think of this, then go and practice. I think this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah, just learn what you have to practice and then do it. You don't have to learn about the result from your practice. What you're gonna get, you when you get to it, you'll know it without having to read the scripture about it.
Yeah, and the basis is all mindfulness. Like, without mindfulness, it doesn't matter how many suttas that I've read. It
won't give you any result from your reading of the suttas. Okay.
Just like what you said to Michael just now, it's very profound as well. Like, the real scripture is the mind, like our mind, like study the mind, like that's the real scripture.
Where does all the teaching of the Buddha came from? Came from his mind, right? Came out of his mind.
Right.
Or the Tripadaka came from his mind. So if you want to read that,
the Buddha never had the sutta to read.
Right.
Hey, Ajahn, it's just like one of the sutta, like Tutu Potila.
Potila.
Yeah, Potila sutta.
Yeah, he know the sutta, but he never practiced. He never look at the real sutta, which is in his mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
we
you.
We have a newcomer in here named Jenny, 1266 iPhone. Jenny, you want to say something? You want to ask any question? Can you hear me? Please unmute your microphone.
Hi.
Okay.
Ajahn, good evening.
Where
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Penang, Malaysia.
Okay.
Yes,
Any question?
I have a question. I basically I had this issue for myself. At one time I lose my equanimity, and I trying to gain back my equanimity slowly now, where I find that I cannot handle my work at a situation that I am facing this a disagreement in a partner basis. I find that I was not at the right stage, handling some of the work. Then I actually keep myself calm down, do practice from home, where I'm not attending most of the time at work. So I leave the work behind, and I just trying to gain back my equanimity and also gain back my mindfulness. Is that I find that is this a way I can gain better? I'm not to say I want to hurry to gain back the result of the equanimity or the mindfulness, but I keep it away and practice, build back the habit of this, to do the practice again.
Yes, it's a good thing to practice to get back to mindfulness and equanimity, because that's where you'll get the real happiness, not from the money that you earn from working, from things you get from people.
Yeah,
those they're not real happiness. They're temporary happiness, and when they disappear, they can make you become sad. But if you have mindfulness and equanimity, you will always have your own happiness, which will not leave you as long as you have mindfulness and equanimity. So you should focus more on this happiness from mindfulness and equanimity, and happiness from working to get from getting money or getting things or people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for time being, I find that it's the best time to do the practice, since Malaysia is in the lockdown, and I trying to do as much as on this practice. So at times that I listening to the chanting, or I myself play the chanting from, at times that I find it at the piece is not at peace, I play the chanting again, and I just doing all this, and or listen to some Dhamma at times. After that, morning time at my session, sitting again, and come back to every morning, do back the practice from every morning. Instead of I find that I cannot go back to work at this time yet, until I'm ready.
Good. If you don't need to work, then don't have to work. Meditate, practice Dhamma better.
Yeah, I prepare myself for, for equanimity, and also prepare myself for mindfulness to gain back for what as I before.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. You're welcome. Anybody else would like to ask any question? Please raise your hand.
Yes, there's some question from
Facebook. Okay, Kunla from Facebook.
Any more question from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์? The first question from Simon Yeo. Dear Ajahn, whenever I feel anger arising, what is the best way to counteract anger?
Well, if you can go to the cause of, get rid of the cause of your anger can disappear. If mostly the cause of your anger is your desire. You want something, and when you don't get it, you become angry. So you can change your mind, say, okay, I don't want it anymore. Then the anger will disappear. Like you want to have this person to be your partner, and you are rejected by him or her. Then you just change your mind, say, okay, I change my mind, I don't want you anymore. Then your anger will disappear. If you cannot do this, if you want a simple way, but this is a temporary way of getting rid of your anger, is to recite a mantra. Just keep reciting mantra, and don't think about the issue that caused you to become angry. Don't think about the person that makes you angry. If you keep reciting the Buddha, then you forget temporarily. Then your anger will disappear. But as soon as you start to think about that person again, your anger can come back again. So the best way is to get rid of the cause of your anger, which is your desire. You must desire for, you must want something, and when you don't get it, then you get angry. So you can change your mind and say, okay, I don't want it anymore. If I cannot get it, then I just give up my desire for it. Then your anger will disappear.
The next question from Poliang Soon. Do Ajahn think as lay person have to upgrade the Buddha knowledge time by time, or just maintain as simple holding Sila, Dana, Panya, upgrade the meditation standard? Is this enough?
Yes, just keep practicing, advance in your practice, and then all the Dhamma will appear in your mind.
Next question from Jenny Lim. Dear Ajahn, when I do not have strong equanimity, I find I was unable to handle the problem. Please kindly give me an advice.
Just create more equanimity by reciting the mantra. When you feel that you don't have enough equanimity, then just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto and stop thinking. It's like when you run out of gasoline in your tank, what you do? You go to the gas station and fill it up. Fill up the tank with gasoline. So when you run out of equanimity, then you have to fill it up by reciting the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto.
Ajahn, 3 more questions comes.
Go ahead.
Next question from Serleko. Ajahn, what are the consequences of breaking precepts?
The consequence is it will make you feel bad when you break the precept. When you steal, you feel bad. When you're committing adultery, you feel bad. When you lie, you feel bad. This is the immediate result that you get from breaking the precept. But there is also a later consequence after you die. After you die, if you break the precept and they become the dominant force in your mind, then this will lead you to be born in the undesirable realm of existence, either as an animal or as a hungry ghost or as a scary ghost or as a angry ghost. These are the four undesirable state of existence that a person who breaks up the precept will have to be in.
Next question from Tin Jack. Dear Ajahn, does it mean the practice is more important than getting the results? How do I know if I'm heading the right direction?
You know, if you practice and your mind becomes calmer, more happy, then you are going in the right direction. If you practice and your mind still become agitated, restless, and unhappy, then you're going on the wrong direction, or you're not getting there yet. If you're doing it right, then you have to be patient, because when you practice, you sometimes have to be facing your opponent, your defilement, and this can create stress in your practice. But eventually, when you win and your defilement give up resisting, then your mind will become calm and peaceful and happy.
And last question from Eddie Gan.ท่านอาจารย์, how do I practice mindfulness in daily life? When I reciting Bhutto in daily life, should I observe my breath at the same time? Thank you.
When you're doing things, you should not watch your breath. You should watch what you do. If you're eating, just watch your eating. If you're walking, just watch your walking. And if you want to recite the Bhutto, the mantra Bhutto with it, fine, you can do it. Or you can just do one. Just keep watching what you do. So you can do either mantra or keep watching what you do. But don't watch the breath, because the breath is difficult to watch when you're moving around, when you're doing things. You only watch your breath when you sit down and when the body is not doing anything.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Anybody else? Evie from Indonesia.
Ajahn, the ghost that Ajahn mentioned earlier can disturb us because I like to meditate in the dark place, but sometimes it seems like someone is watching me.
Oh, they don't come disturb you. It's your own ghost. Your mind creating the own ghost, not the real ghost.
So I was calm myself, like thinking, oh, maybe a ghost because they karma. And
when you stop thinking, then the ghost will disappear. See, the ghost only appear from your thinking. So when you stop thinking, then the ghost will disappear.
So do Buddha, so I can.
That's right. Just keep Buddha, then the ghost will disappear.
So I can forget the ghost, but sometimes it pops, like someone is watching me because there is a sound. Sometimes like.
That's your own mind thinking about it. The creation of your own mind. Your mind creating these thoughts, this feeling of someone watching you. There's no one watching you. You're not important enough to be watched.
Okay. Our mind always want to cheat us.
Yeah, cheating all the time, deceiving you all the time. Yeah, delusion, we call delusion.
Because we have defilement, yeah, Ajahn. Because right. we still have defilement.
Moha.
And what the difference of Mara and Moha, Ajahn?
Mara is personification of evil. There's no when you're doing something bad, you are Mara. Okay, when you break the precept, you become Mara.
When we lazy to meditate, is it Mara too?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Sometimes I was so lazy to wake up.
Okay, you can call that Mara also.
Mara.
You're becoming Mara when you're lazy to meditate.
Yeah. And Moha is the fullness.
Moha is delusion. Delusion, like thinking there's a ghost around you. This is Moha.
Stupid by itself, by myself, stupid, lying to me, myself,
you're
cheating.
You're deceiving yourself.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
So, Willie.
Yes, I have another question. How to overcome the aversion towards dirtiness, like going to a dirty toilet or touching or dusty or dirty things?
Well, to ask yourself where this dirty thing comes from. It comes from your body, right? Mm. How come you have no aversion with the dirty thing in your body? Ask yourself, then maybe you say, yeah, why should I have aversion for the dirty thing that comes out of my body? When it's always in my body, I have no aversion for it. Yes. And you can also trace the dirty thing. Where does it come from? It all comes from the good thing that you eat, right? Yes. So why are they so bad once they come out of your body? When you take them in, you're so willing to take them in. And when they go out, you have aversion for them. Yeah. See, this is your defilement, your delusion. You're not thinking rationally. Okay. Thank you, Tanaka. Every time you think of the thing that you aversion, you think of the thing that you are attracted to, like the food on the plate. Every time you think of the food in the toilet bowl, then you should think back of the food in your plate. And you say, this thing came from this thing, so why should I have any aversion for this thing? When it was in the plate, I was ready to gobble it up real fast. So now it's in the toilet bowl. Why should I have aversion for it? You should try to touch it to see force yourself to touch it and say, I could touch it when I put it in my mouth. Why couldn't I not touch it when it comes out of my body? Maybe you have to do this in order to stop your aversion, stop you from having aversion. Force it to touch it. Okay.
What about the dust or other dirt? I mean, not the excrement. Like what kind of contemplation that I should put in my mind?
You don't have to have aversion for anything, but you have to know they are harmful to you or not. See? Like if the dust is harmful to you, then you want to get rid of it, but you shouldn't have any aversion for it.
Okay. So I just clean it, but without aversion.
Yes, just knowing that you clean it because you want to protect your body, because this dust might contain some germs or something and can hurt your body. But you don't have to have aversion for it. The reason why you have aversion or attraction is because your mind lacks equanimity. You don't have any equanimity at all. So you should concentrate on building up more equanimity. Then your mind will become more neutral and not having strong aversion or attraction. So I think to solve the problem, you need to meditate to get to Appana Samadhi if it's possible. Then you can control your aversion and your attraction more easily with rationality. Right now, you cannot even use rationality because your aversion is so strong. You'll be afraid to touch the food that comes out of your your body. But you're happy to touch the food before you take it into your body. But once the food comes out of your body, you don't want to touch it anymore.
Yeah.
But if you have equanimity, you can do either one without having any reaction. So you have to develop mindfulness and meditate, and wait for you to have equanimity first before you can reduce your aversion or use wisdom to help you get rid of your aversion entirely. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tanajan.
Okay. Anybody else? I don't see anybody raising their hand. Sulan, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, actually I have two questions. The first question is like for elderly parents, like what is one thing that I can share with them to help them? Yeah, because
what is your question? What is your question? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean for elderly parents, like who maybe they don't have much Dhamma knowledge or able to understand the Dhamma well. So what is it that I can share with them to help them? Because I think I also hear from some traditions where they say, just share with your parents about the paradise or something like that.
Well, it depends on whether they have interest or not. If there's no interest, then there's nothing you can do for them. So you have to wait for them to ask you, who is the Buddha? What does he do? Then you can start sharing the Dhamma with them. But if they're not interested, then they're more interested in food, in movies, in whatever. Then you cannot force them to have interest in the Buddha, Dhamma, the Sangha.
Because I remember in the Sariputta story, he managed to spark the interest of his mother.
So you have to look at them and see if they're interested in the Dhamma or not. Try to talk to them and ask them, you want to know who the Buddha is? You want to know what he did? You can ask them, find out. If they want to know, then you can then start telling the story of the Buddha to them.
Okay.
He was a prince and he became a monk and then he became enlightened. You start a conversation with them, so maybe to raise their interest.
Yeah.
But you don't want to teach them. You don't want to tell them when they're not interested. You have to first create the interest in them somehow by maybe asking them, you know who the Buddha is?
Yeah. Then because for them, if let's say I see that they are doing something that's unskillful, I tend to tell them that if you continue, you have a karma.
They've been doing this before you were born, so don't worry about it.
So is it bad of me to say, you have karma if you do this?
Yeah, it's not your business, It's not your business to tell them what they do wrong. Okay. It's only after they ask you, what did I do wrong? Did I do something not right? And then you can tell them that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Then
is that all your question?
I have one more question.
Okay.
I think lately I think when I see someone, then I feel like lightly punch the person, like this.
Just play around.
Not. I have the urge to lightly punch the person. Yeah.
You should ask yourself, if they do the same to you, how would you feel?
Yeah, but I don't mean to harm the person.
But you might annoy them. You're not harming them, you might annoy them. So why don't you do something that makes them happy rather than annoy them? Kiss them or something. Give them a kiss.
Okay. Yeah.
This is metta, see, radiating metta, not by chanting, but by action.
By action.
Yeah. By what you do or say. This is giving metta, not just being alone and chant metta and hope that this chant will go to everybody in this world. They don't go. It's your delusion that think this way. You want to make people happy when you see them, you do something or say something that make them happy. And this is metta, giving metta, or radiating metta.
But recently I feel that it's hard to radiate metta. I feel like in the heart there's something tense.
Because your mind is being influenced by your defilements, and your defilement likes to hurt other people. And when you hurt other people, you feel good, you feel happy, you feel superior. This is your defilement.
Okay. Yeah. Then I need to radiate metta.
Radiate metta. Say nice thing to them when you see them. Don't punch them. Or if you have something to share with them, give them something. Maybe you have some money, extra money, say, hey, why don't you get this money and buy something for yourself? This is something you have to force yourself to do, because normally your defilement won't allow you to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if you can do it, you'll find that you feel better, you feel good, being able to share something with other people, give things to other people. Especially those who are in need. If you find somebody in need and you can help alleviate their need, then you will feel good. Better than punching them, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, this helps a lot.
Anybody would like to ask any more questions?
Thank you.
2 questions from Facebook.
More Facebook question, okay?
2 more questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ and the question from Linda Lee is a long question.
Can you summarize?
She said she has a toxic environment and she has some problem with her mother, And she said when she be with her mother, she cannot do the meditation. So she want you to give her advice about to.
That's because she has expectation of what her mother should be, see? And it's not what she is. So she should change her attitude toward her mother. Instead of expecting her to be what she wants her to be, she should accept what she is. Then she will find no problem with living with her. See, when you're expecting something and you don't get what you expect, then you feel bad. You're not happy. But if you just teach your mind not to expect anything from anybody and take them as they are, then you will not feel bad. Does this answer the question? Don't change them, change yourself, change your attitude toward them. See, that's the problem with us. We have a certain expectation, attitude towards someone, and we expect them to be according to what we want them to be. But they're not, see. Like they are oranges and you want them to be bananas, for instance. So when they're not bananas, you get angry, you're not happy. But if you accept them to be oranges, then if they're oranges, then you're happy. Oh, I get oranges. So you have to look at them and know what they are and accept them for what they are. Don't try to change people. Change yourself. You can only change people when they come and ask for your help. They say they want to be something, and then if you can help them, then you tell them what to do. But you just can't go and just say, okay, you should be like this, you should not be like this. You will cause more tension between each other. Okay, so don't change other people, change yourself, change your attitude toward them. If you have the wrong attitude, switch your attitude. If you expect them to be oranges and then they happen to be banana, then you should switch your attitude that, okay, you want them to be banana. Then you will be happy because you will get what you want.
And the last question from Simon. What is the best way to repay karmic debt, say between the parent and the child? And how to know if the karmic debt is lessened or repaid?
Well, see, karma, once you have done it, you cannot erase it. It will bear fruit one day, sooner or later. There's no way of getting rid of the consequence of your good or bad karma. But when you say repay, like repay to someone who you feel you are in debt, then you should repay the same thing that they give you. Like your parents give you food, shelter, clothing, and medicine to maintain your life. So maybe when your parents need these 4 requisites, when they cannot provide it for themselves, then it's your turn to provide it for them. This is repayment. If they look after you, they raise you, so in their old age, you might have to look after them and take care of them. Okay? I guess that's about all for tonight. I don't want to drag it any longer. Okay, thank you very much for your attendance. I hope this meeting is beneficial to you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please be safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. If everything goes well, I'll see you next week. Good night, goodbye, or good afternoon.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thươngเจ้าค่ะ
พี่บอยที่หลาค่ะ
บ๊ายบายค่ะ
บ๊ายบายค่ะ
บ๊ายบาย
ขอบพระคุณค่ะ
บ๊ายบาย Good night